Welcome back to Wonder Dream Podcast. This is episode 4. Episode 4? Episode 4 of the Euro 2020 podcast. I did record like 10 minutes before this, but I didn't realise that I didn't have this mic on. I had the onboard laptop on, so I was speaking for nearly 6 minutes, so I'll have to try and remember what I said towards this. But yeah, I accidentally recorded without this mic. I recorded with the onboard crappy microphone on the laptop. So yeah, I'm gonna repeat myself for a couple of stuff. I'll try remember. I'll try and remember what was what for it. But yeah, we'll go through whatever that was anyway. So yeah, the first game, obviously for the Euro 2020 was the Wales v Denmark game. Denmark beat Wales 4-0, so Denmark are through to the quarterfinals, which I did say I wanted Denmark to go through, and obviously they did. So I am happy with that result. And I did say in the last podcast as well that Kasper Dolberg scored 2 goals in this 4-0 beating of Wales. And I had him in as my captain for the game week 1 of the groups, and he never played. And then obviously he played the one time he plays, he goes and scores 2. I did have him on, but I didn't have him on as captain this time. So yeah, a bit disappointed by that. Lost out. If I put him on as captain, I would have doubled my points from 12 to 24. I don't know why it was only 12 though, because he scored 2 goals. So, and then I think he assisted one of the others, so it should have been more than that. I mean, the fancy hub at the moment's been a bit iffy with points, because they've deducted about 14 points off me this game week, because even though one of the defenders had 10, and then it got knocked down to 1 from 10, so 9 points got took off for one of the defenders. I don't know what the hell's happening with fancy hub. And then obviously for quarterfinals, we've not got limited transfers. So I've only got 4 players for the quarterfinals, and then obviously 4 transfers. So it's a bit bizarre why they haven't given us unlimited transfers like they did for the last 16. I don't know what's happening with fancy up at the moment, but we'll draw out with that one. Obviously, we'll the other round of 16 game was Italy v Austria. I did say that Italy, it would be a pretty easy breeze for Italy. Obviously, Italy beat Austria 2-1, but obviously it had to go to extra time for Italy to obviously qualify for the quarterfinal. They had to take it to extra time. Obviously, Italy, Chiesa and Pessina scoring, and then Austria scored just 5 minutes before the end of extra time. And then I thought Austria was going to get another one. I thought that one was going to go to penalties, but it never did. So yeah, Italy are also through to the quarterfinals. The next game, I was quite surprised by. It was the Netherlands and Czech Republic game. I expected Netherlands to win that, but they didn't. They lost to Czech Republic 2-0, so Czech Republic have qualified. They've gone through to the quarterfinals, and Netherlands have been knocked out. I really expected Netherlands to beat Czech Republic. So that was a surprising game. Obviously, Schick again scoring. He's on 4 goals now, 1 behind Ronaldo. Because Ronaldo's got 5. I don't think Ronaldo's going to get top goal scorer now if the quarterfinals pan out and sent with Czech. We'll go through that once we've gone through all of this. But yeah, like I said, Czech Republic are now through to the quarterfinal. But a bit disappointed there, because obviously I did expect Netherlands to go through. But obviously, that's football for you. It's all about ins and outs. The next game was Belgium and Portugal. Obviously, this game I did say in the last podcast that it would have been a really close game, and it was 50-50 and it would go through, and Belgium just about scraped through by beating Portugal 1-0, so Belgium are through to the quarterfinals. It was kind of expected of Belgium to go through, because Belgium are currently number 1 in the rankings, so they're the best international club in the world at the moment, so it kind of was expected for Belgium to go through, and they did by 1 goal, so it was a push. Portugal's defence did put them through, but in the end, Belgium came through with 1-0 win, and obviously now they're through to the Euro 2020 quarterfinals. Like I said, it was expected. Obviously, I thought it was going to be a close matchup, and obviously it was quite a close matchup. So I was kind of right on that one, not that one on the ball. The next match was even better for goal scoring, because there was 8 goals scored in total. It was the Croatia v Spain match. Spain beat Croatia 5-3 to go through to the quarterfinals, but it had to go to extra time. It was up and down and up and down. 1 minute I thought Croatia was gonna qualify, and Spain. It was one of those games that was up and down and up and down. You just didn't know what was happening, and then goals were just flying in everywhere. It was a quite intense, interesting match. Was that obviously like I said, 8 goals were scored. So obviously in the end, no, Spain went through. So yeah, Spain are now through to the quarterfinals. But like I said, yeah, it was quite an interesting game with goals being slapped through and everywhere and just woo, just flying around everywhere. The next game, I might be a bit salty about this just because I support France, but I'll try to be as respectful as possible. So yeah, obviously the next one was France v Switzerland, which ended. It ended 3-3 after extra time, and then it had to go to penalties, and obviously France lost 5-4 to Switzerland on penalties because of. I'll try and be as respectful as possible, but it was because of the dumb bastard that is Kylian Mbappe, one of the most overrated players ever. He's been Kylian Mbappe for this entire tournament has just been absolute trash. No goal scored. They fucked up the penalty, which basically cost us to go through to the quarterfinals. And yeah, but I have to admit that the defense for France was pretty poor overall. Anyway, it wasn't the best game that I'd seen France play. And then the fact that Deschamps took off Griezmann, whatever you say his name, that's what cost us the game. I think Deschamps he got his tactics completely wrong. He took off one of the best players, and then that's where that impacted the game. And then Switzerland took advantage of it. So in a way, it's Deschamps' fault why we lost that because he fucked up on his tactics. He messed up big time on his tactics. And to be fair, France were playing pretty average. Like I said, the defence at one point was really poor after a few tactical changes. The defence just flaunted. So to be fair, I know I was about to say this, but I think we kind of deserved that loss, and Switzerland deserved to go through to quarterfinals because there was just no passion whatsoever from France at one point, and France were just falling apart at one point. It was just an absolute shocker of a game. So in the end, obviously Switzerland, took advantage of the fact that but the fact, like I said, the fact that Deschamps took off the best player that was playing, obviously that's what changed the dynamic of the game, and like I said, that's why Switzerland obviously noticed, and they took advantage of it, and then that's what happened, and then obviously again, it has to be Mbappe that costs us. The game, yeah, again, like I said, Mbappe has just been absolute. He's probably been, I wouldn't say the worst player of the tournament, but he's down there with the worst of players this tournament. He's done nothing this tournament. No goal scored. He's done. I think he's done one assist. That's about it. He's done nothing. He's done nothing to to the reputation that people are putting him in, saying he's like one of the best players. He's done nothing. I think he's a really overrated average player that is playing in a farmers league. Paris Saint-Germain win everything every year, so he's in a team that's going to win that league that's expected to win the league every single year. There's no really competition in there, so anyone could. I could play for fucking Paris Saint-Germain and slapping. I think anyone could. It's the same with the Germany league as well. Any player could probably go there and do well, because that's why they call them the farmers leagues. But I think I hope this stops Kylian Mbappe's like diva moments and that. Now I hope it comes to realization that because at the moment it seems to really stubborn and stuck up, and he's a proper diva. I'm hoping that this tournament now shows him. I think one of the other reasons as well is because he's hanging around with Neymar too much, and we know Neymar's a diva at times, and I think it's a bad influence on Mbappe. Mbappe probably can be a really amazing player, but it's just the fact that he's too much of a diva. He needs to get his attitude in check. He needs to take inspiration from other people. His attitude does need to change, because obviously it has been piss poor from what we've seen. And the fact, he hasn't done anything this tournament. I'm hoping his attitude does change after this tournament, but, we'll see. But yeah, it's Mbappe's fault why we lost that. How he missed that penalty as well, I have no idea. Absolute shambles, but yeah. But obviously you can't just blame it on Mbappe. Like I said, the match really was Deschamps' fault with his tactical errors and taking off the best player on, preferably on the day for that game. So in a way, it is Deschamps' fault as well as Mbappe's. But it's a team effort. You can't just blame a few players. But from what you're seeing, it kind of is. Mbappe will get a lot of criticism there because of being piss poor in this tournament, and obviously missing that penalty, it will be criticised a lot now because of that. But we'll move on from that anyway. We'll move on to the next game, which again I did not expect this whatsoever. England beat Germany 2-0. I did not expect that at all. I thought Germany was going to breeze it, but on the day Germany was playing absolute shite foot. I mean, it was the worst defensive football I'd ever seen from Germany. England had that quite easy, but then again, you can't really fault Germany's midfielders were playing really good. But yeah, it was the defence that was really bad for Germany. But yeah, England are through to the quarters now because of beating Germany 2-0. Like I said, I was not expecting that, but fair play to them. Because but like I said, I did expect Germany, and a bit disappointed because obviously yesterday I lost my sweet state, which was Germany, and then the day before that France gets knocked out, so it's like a double whammy. So I'm a bit annoyed at that, the fact that my team's been knocked out of Euros, and then the day after my sweet state's gone, so I am a bit annoyed at that. But what can you do? That's football for you. It's always changing. You can't expect one thing to happen, and But like I said, I'm a bit annoyed that one day after the other, your team goes out of the Euros, and then your sweepstake goes. Yeah, I'm a bit. You can't say I'm not annoyed at that, but what can you do? But yeah, they're the results for that. And then obviously the last game of the last 16 was Sweden-Ukraine. Again, a game that I did not expect to happen. Ukraine beat Sweden 2-1. I did not expect Sweden to lose either. So about half of these games I did not expect any of this to happen. But yeah, Ukraine are through to the the quarterfinal after beating Ukraine. And I didn't expect that either. But I think, yeah, again, it was a red card which cost Sweden. And then Ukraine took advantage of it, and that's why Ukraine won in the last moment, scoring the second goal. So they took advantage of that red card, so that's what let Sweden down. But yeah, like I said, I did not expect Ukraine to go through on that one. But yeah, that was the last 16. Like I said, some interesting stuff happened there, stuff that you didn't expect, some stuff which you would have expected. But yeah, there we have it. And now, obviously, we have the quarterfinals. Which we don't have now till Friday. Obviously, it's Wednesday now, so it's like another 2 day off. We've got Wednesday, Thursday, another 2 day break, and then obviously the quarterfinal starts on Friday. You'll have 2 on Friday, and then the other 2 on Saturday, and then you'll take a 3 day break, and then obviously you'll have the semi final on the 6th and 7th, and then you'll take a 4 day break, and the final will be on the 11th of July. So obviously the games for the quarterfinal. I'm going to be a bit more lenient with these because I can see happening. I'll say like I did with the last lot. I said, in the last 16, this team will beat this. Obviously, like I said, a lot of things have changed and that, so I'm going to be a bit lenient towards this to say, because there's some interesting games here, but then I could say that, this team has a really piss easy, anything can happen, But obviously the first game, the quarterfinal, is obviously Switzerland v Spain. Now, this is a game, like I said, you'd expect Spain to beat Switzerland, but then again, Switzerland beat France. So what's to say Switzerland can't beat Spain? So you can't just say, Spain's beat Croatia 5-3, so Spain are absolutely going to slap Switzerland. Well, we thought France would absolutely slap Switzerland, and that never happened. So you can't really rule Switzerland out of the Spain match. So obviously it's expected for Spain to win, but like I said, it was expected for France to beat Switzerland. So, I think Switzerland are going to be highly contenders to go through and beat Spain and go through to the semi-finals there. So, if it was me, I'd probably put my money on Switzerland just because of how really good they were playing against France. And if they play like that against Spain, then I think Switzerland have a chance to beat Spain and go through to the semi-finals there. But like I said, it's football. You never know. Switzerland could play absolutely shite now, and then Spain could knock in like 4 or 5 goals. Like I said, but yeah, that will be an interesting game. But obviously, the odds will be on for Spain to win anyway. I can guarantee it. The odds will be on for Spain to beat Switzerland. But like I said, you can't rule them out. With how well Switzerland played against France. But it is what it is. We'll have to just wait and see. But my money's on Switzerland. I don't know why. Obviously, not just because they beat us, just the fact that Switzerland seem to be playing some really good football late. So I've got a feeling Switzerland might beat Spain. So I'm saying Switzerland will beat Spain to go through to the semi. In my personal opinion, that might be wrong. Spain might actually slap them. But like I said, we'll wait and see. But yeah, my money will be on Switzerland for that game. And then the second game of the quarterfinal. Now this game could go either way. This will be a game that will be like the Portugal and Belgium game. It'll be really tight and close. It could go either way. It's the Belgium v Italy game for the quarterfinal now. Italy have been playing some amazing football of late, They went on, was it 11, 12 games without conceding under Mancini. They've been playing some absolutely excellent football of Italy. So, out of that, I'd like to see Italy go through. But then I want Belgium to go through, but you'd expect Belgium to go through because obviously, like I said, the number one club in the world at the moment, Belgium have been playing some really nice football as well. But then Italy have as well. And then Italy have gone on that massive long run of, not conceding. So, like I said, that could go either way. It's one of those games that like I said, it'd be expected of Belgium, but then Italy, with how they've been playing as well, it'll be very close. I reckon the Belgium and Italy game's going to go to, it'll go to penalties for that game. I can see it coming because like I said, it's going to be a really tight, close game. Personally, I want Italy to go through. I want Italy to win the Euros now. To be honest, now that France have been knocked out, I'd like to see Italy win it. It's obviously my personal opinion now. It's either going to be Italy or Belgium, whichever team wins that Belgium v Italy tie, I think it's going to win the Euros. So if Belgium beat Italy, I think Belgium are going to win the Euros. But if Italy beat Belgium, then I think it's Italy that's going to win the Euros. So it's either one of those two clubs. Whoever comes out fighting from that and becomes the winner of that match, I think it's going to end up winning the Euros. Because the one of the top, Belgium obviously being the best team in the world at the moment, ranked 1, and then obviously with how Italy's been playing as well, and it's definitely going to be one of those two that win the Euros now. No doubt about it. Obviously, England's going to be in the mix there now because obviously, with the games that they've got running up to the final, so it's probably, with how games are going to be, it would be expected of England there to get to the finals now. I'll go through that in a minute once I've spoke about the other game after this one, and I'll tell you a bit. I'll just link in a bit more, but yeah, I think that's what the Belgium and Italy thing is going to be. And obviously the next game is the Czech Republic v Denmark game. Again, I'd really like to see Denmark win that and Denmark go through to the semi-finals. Because Denmark's one of those clubs that obviously, obviously with everything that's happened with them, and I've said previously, with the Ericsson deal and that, I think Denmark, without really good football they've been playing since, that incident, but they were playing really good beforehand, but it's like, they've got a reason to try and get to the final. They've got more reason than any other club now to, try and push to get to the Euro final. So I'd like to see, obviously, but with how Czech Republic have been playing as well, I've got a feeling Czech Republic's going to win that one and Czech Republic's going to go to the semi-final. I think Denmark's just about going to lose out to that game, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I've just got that feeling that Czech Republic are just going to do one over on them. So I think Czech Republic's going to win that one. Obviously, I want Denmark to win it, but it's Czech Republic, and it's one of them. But like I said, it's whoever turns up on the day that wins the game. But yeah, I've got a feeling that's going to be Czech Republic. And Denmark are just going to miss out, which is unfortunate. I hope I'm wrong with that one. I hope it is Denmark that get through to semi, but I've just got that gut feeling that it's going to be Czech Republic that go through on that one, unfortunately. And then obviously the last game of the quarterfinals is England v Ukraine. Like I said, England should easily beat Ukraine. So I don't even need to say anything. England should get to the semi-final. England should easily beat Ukraine, but go back. This is really. I just remembered this whole situation. Right, just go back to Euro 2004. An Merseyside club, which was Liverpool, announced Rafa Benítez as their manager, and then obviously England got to the quarter, doing really well in the Euro 2004, and they got to the quarterfinal, and then they had a heartbreak and they lost in the quarterfinal of the Euro 2020. But then go back to now, England doing the quarterfinal of the Euro 2020 tournament, and Rafa Benítez has just been announced as Everton's manager, so a Merseyside club again. So what's to say history won't repeat it, and Ukraine beats England, and which is an upset, and it's the quarterfinal, so it'd be like a repeat of Euro 2004 tournament. Imagine if that happens, and it's because of Rafa Benítez at Liverpool and then Everton. It'd be an absolute. Oh, it'd be hilarious if that happens. But yeah, I came onto it because someone I saw about someone post something similar to it on Twitter. I was like, hold up a minute. I'm like, Rafa's just been announced as another Merseyside club, and England are in the quarter final again. So will history repeat itself? Will Ukraine actually beat England? I don't think it'll happen. Personally, I think England will they'll easily come through. I reckon England might score 3 or 4 goals there and go through to the semi-final. So yeah, my money is in on England to win that one. Even though I don't support England, like I've said, obviously I've been a France supporter most of my life anyway. Because obviously I did mention before, obviously it was the first international game that I watched as a kid, and I enjoyed watching them. And obviously I've got a few family members that support France anyway. So that's the reason why I support France. Even though like I said, I was born in England, and I am British. Like I said, mentioned, you don't have to support the team that you were born and raised in. But yeah, that's the reason why. But yeah, like I said, with that, England should easily beat Ukraine. But like I said, with that whole Rafa Benitez theory, you never know. But like I said, I don't think it'll happen. I think England now are going to get. They'll beat Ukraine. They'll get to the semi-final, and then I reckon they'll have Czech Republic in the semi-final. And I think personally, England will get knocked out in the semi-final to Czech Republic if Czech Republic are through. But like I said, they've got Czech Republic's not an easy game. You can't just say that's an easy match because Czech Republic isn't an easy match. But like I said, Czech Republic will defeat Denmark, unfortunately. But I hope it isn't. I hope it isn't England and Denmark semi-final. And then I hope Denmark then does one over on England, and then it's a Denmark and Italy or Belgium final. So Denmark v Italy or Belgium final. I'm hoping that's the golden ball moment. That's what I want to happen. If it happens, it probably won't. Knowing in my luck. But I would prefer it to be in Italy or Belgium v Denmark final. If that happens, is yet to see. But no, I don't think it will. I think Denmark are going out in the quarters. Czech Republic, and then I reckon it's going to be Czech Republic and England semi-final, and then I think Czech Republic will just about beat England in the semi-final, either by a goal or it'll go to penalties in England or lose at penalties. I think that's what's going to happen. But you never know. England could get to the final. Easy game against Ukraine, but like I said, you never know. They could have the quarterfinal outbreak like Euro 2004, like I mentioned. Anything can happen. But I've kind of been 50-50 with my predictions at the moment. Obviously, with last 16, half of the games I did not expect. That's not what I predicted. Very surprised by those games. But yeah, like I said, England have Ukraine. I think, like I said, yeah, England are going to beat Ukraine and get to the semi-final, and then they'll get knocked out to whoever they have in the semi-final, and then it'll be Italy and Belgium in the Italy or Belgium in the final, depending on what team beats them in the quarterfinal, and then Italy or Belgium final with, I think it's going to be Czech Republic. I want it to be Denmark, like I said, but I think it's going to be Czech Republic that'll get to the final, and then on the other end it'll be Italy or Belgium. So it'll be Italy and Belgium or Czech Republic final. Just by how things are looking at the moment. Obviously, England have they have every chance to get to the final, but I just don't see it happening. I see something happening, obviously, with those games. They're very tedious. You've got Switzerland and Spain. You're like, right, yes, Spain should get there. Then you've got Belgium, Italy. It's like, yeah, that's a close matchup. But then you got Czech, Denmark. You think, yeah, Czech easily there. But then you got the England and the Ukraine. And you're like, oh yeah, England's definitely gonna be Ukraine. And it's like, you never know. I could be wrong here. I mean, England could like I said, they could lose to Ukraine, but I don't personally see it happening. Like I said, I think England will 100% get to the semi-final. But how games have been playing at the moment. With games that have happened. Teams that have been knocked out: Portugal, France, Germany. It's unexpected. You wouldn't expect that to happen. But like I said, we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, like I said, I think it is going to be England that go through to the semi, and then they'll get knocked out in the semi-final. Um, but like I said, I could be wrong. It could be an England v Italy Belgium final. I don't see it personally happening, but it might do. You can't rule anything out. But like I said, you can't just say that. With teams that are left, obviously England have Ukraine, and then they've got either Denmark or Czech Republic. The odds would be on England there to easily get to the final. But like I said, you can't just rule anything out. Anything can happen. Like I said, England could get beat to Ukraine in the quarter final. Like I said, I don't personally see it happening. Where our games are, I think England probably might get to the final. But it all depends on that Czech Republic and Denmark game. Because, like I said, if Czech beat Denmark, then it's not going to be an easy one for England. England v Czech Republic. England will have to fight like no tomorrow to get to the final for that one, which would be a very close match-up. But then again, you expected the England and Germany game to be a close match-up, but England absolutely slapped Germany silly. So you can't rule anything out. But yeah, England should. They'll definitely beat Ukraine and get to the semi-final, but I don't know what it'll happen in the semi-final. It's all dependent on that Czech Republic and Denmark game, and how well whatever team wins there, by how many goals and how they perform and then obviously how England perform against Ukraine. Once that's done, and then and then when I do the next podcast with semi-final, then I can make a judgment on if England are going to make the final. At the moment, it's a coin toss, like I said. It's expected. I'm expecting England to get to the final, but it's a coin toss at the moment. We'll have to just wait until the quarterfinals are done. Like I said, it could be a repeat of Euro 2004, and England could get knocked out in the quarterfinal because of Rafa going to another Merseyside club. Probably won't happen, but you never know. History could repeat itself. Hope it doesn't. Like I said. Obviously, even though I said I don't support England, even though I am English myself, I do want them to do well. But obviously, I don't support them. But I wish them well anyway. Respect them for beating Germany and whatnot. But my money's always been on France because I've always supported them. But I would put forward and put respect on England anyway because obviously I am English. I was obviously born here, and most of my family English, but like I said, I don't support them, but I do wish them well. I do slaughter them now and then, but most of the time it's just because of banter with my mates. We always have a bit of banter. It's not that it's truthful, it's just it's just a bit of banter, but I do wish England well. Like I hope they do get to the final, to be honest. But we'll have to wait and see. But I do wish them well. Hopefully, you never know. It might actually be time for them to. You never know. England could win the Euros. The time could finally come for them. It's a bit unfortunate for me because obviously I don't support them, but most of my family do. So I am kind of now with the games that are left. I kind of am like rooting for England now, just because most of my family support them, and obviously I'm English myself, but I support France. It's a bit of a weird one, but yeah, I hope they do. Obviously, like I said, you have to put respect on the name, especially after beating Germany 2-0. So like I said, I have respect to that, but obviously I do have a bit of banter, obviously, in the chat with some of my mates and whatnot, where I'm like, I hope England loses and England loses. It's just a bit of banter, and I think I was a bit salty because of France getting knocked out for like that day as well. I was a bit salty, like, fucking Germany slap England, just because my mates support England and obviously I don't. I think I was just a bit salty, a bit annoyed at the fact that we lost to Switzerland. I was a bit pissed off with that, and obviously again it had to be Mbappe. Of course, it had to be Mbappe that caused it. So I think it was just a bit of banter, and the fact I was annoyed that day. I was like, yeah. So I didn't post much in the group chat yesterday, and then the day before that when France lost for like 2 days, I didn't really put much in the chat. It's because of the reason I was still like pissed off and annoyed at the fact that France lost to Switzerland of all clubs. But yeah, that's football for you. But I'm alright now. I've got over it. I'm still a bit annoyed at the fact that it did happen. But fair play to Switzerland. They did, like I said, they did deserve it. They played better than us at the end of the day. So you can't fault them. I think I've gone through my 2 day of saltiness now to accept defeat. And yeah, now obviously because I don't support France, France is gone. Obviously, I said I don't support them. I don't know why I said that. Obviously, now I should say now I'd probably say I'd be rooting for England to get to the final. But like I said, that's all because my family support them and all that. But like I said, with the whole banter thing in there with England, it's because it's cool. Well, it wasn't me directly. It was two of my mates in the group chat directly said to me like, France has been knocked out. I can't remember. I think it was Jake that said something. And then I was like, wow, Jake. I was like, wow. And then I was a bit salty. I was like, oh. And then one of my other mates put in there. I was like, something else about something, and then I was like, oh, I don't fucking Germany slap England, so because I was really fucking annoyed. I was like, I'm like, don't piss me off. I didn't say that, but I was just thinking like, I was like, Jake, okay, do not piss me off any more than I already am. So it's why I didn't post much in the chat that day. I was like, because I was like really annoyed. I was like, do not piss me off any more than I already am, because I'll end up saying something to you, and then you'll be like, wow. I'm like, well, you've had that coming for pissing me off. That's why I didn't put much in the chat, because I knew I'd say something to one of them out of like anger, because obviously they were winding me up, they were taking the piss, but how I am sometimes with like certain stuff, I probably would have took it the wrong way, and I had to dig back at them, which I was kind of doing with the England thing. Like I was like, oh, England gets slapped by Germany are gonna, but it was just one of those things. That's why I didn't post much in the chat. I was like, I'll not rise to that. I'll just leave them two. I was like, just let me try and accept the fact, accept defeat. The fact France got beat by Switzerland. I was like, just give me a couple of days to accept it. Like I said, I'm fine with it now. I'll probably have a laugh about it now, but like the first 2 days, after we did, I was like really proper fucking annoyed by it. I didn't really do much like the day that it happened as well. I just sat there like, oh fuck. I was like, why Switzerland of all clubs? I didn't really do much. I literally just sat there watching films, and I was actually playing games whilst I was doing it, and then I was gonna stream afterwards, and then I was like, I can't be arsed now. I was like, I'm not in the mood to be. I'm like, if I streamed straight away after that, my controller would have gone straight through the frigging window if I did. So that's why I didn't. But like I said, it's gonna be interesting quarter final now. Like I said, with those games. Like I said, it could go either way. Like I said, you can't rule one out and rule one in. But you never know. Like I said, Belgium and Italy might not get to the final. If Spain beats Switzerland, it'd be Spain v Belgium or Italy, and then Spain could beat either of those two, whichever one goes through, and then it could be a Spain final. Spain could get into the final, then it could maybe be like Spain England or Spain Czech Republic, Spain Denmark. You can't really rule anything out. Because Spain, Belgium, and Italy still there as well. Spain, Belgium, Italy, England, you can't. It's one of those, It's like I said, it's all dependent on if whatever players play better on the day. What mindset and mentality the players have for whatever team will go through, because of that, and obviously tactics as well. I think, like I said, England will definitely go through as long as Southgate puts Grealish on. He needs to put Sancho on more as well. I think Sancho's had something before 6 minutes of play time in the Euros. I don't know why he hasn't played Sancho, but then again, he could be saving Sancho for the quarter semi. In fact, that could be Southgate's tactical thing. He could be saving Sancho for the latter rounds. So that he could keep Sancho fit. So you never know, that could be his tactic. That'll be a stroke of master genius if that's what Southgate's doing, is saving the better players so they don't get injured, and the more fit than the rest of them. It could be it'll be a tactical genius if that's what he's doing. But only time will tell. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. But like I said, that's basically it for Euro. I'll just mention a bit about a couple of transfers and whatnot that's done, just to boost the podcast up a little bit more, because I did say it was Euro 2020 and football in general for both, for all these podcasts for the Euro 2020 stuff. So obviously, a couple of stuff's happened. Obviously, like I said, Rafa Benítez has been announced as Everton's manager, like I did mention before. He signed a 3-year contract with Everton. I don't know how that's going to pan out. I'm a bit... it's one of those kind of things, it's an unexpected appointment, because apparently it's supposed to be Nuno who left Wolves that was always touted to take the Everton job. Obviously it's Rafa Benítez that's taken it, and I know I've noticed a lot of Everton fans are not happy by the appointment. That's obviously because Rafa was previously Liverpool manager, and obviously Liverpool Everton's one of the biggest rivalry team game thing going in it. So I can understand why a lot of Everton fans are a bit annoyed at the fact that they've announced Rafa. But then again, Rafa's won the Champions League and the Europa League. He's got all that knowledge there, and obviously if the Everton owners back Rafa and they give him a decent transfer kitty, I think they'll do better than Carlo Ancelotti's 10th finish last season. I reckon Everton are going to finish 7th this season. I think 7th place is the one of the spots which I reckon they'll end up finishing. I think 7th will be the spot. I don't think that I really, really do not think Everton are going to push for top 6 at all. With teams at the moment that are going to be there, with how transfers are going at the moment, I really don't see Everton pushing for top 6. But I think they are definitely going to finish 7th for Everton. I don't know if I did on the other podcast. I don't know if I did do a Premier League table prediction. I don't think I did. I could be wrong. I can't remember now. But yeah, like I said, I think Everton are going to finish 7th in Rafa's first season. But then it depends on transfers on who Everton bring in. But obviously, like I said, there's rumours that Carlo Ancelotti wants to bring Dominic Lewin to Everton over to Real Madrid in a 50 million move. I don't know if that's like going ahead or whatnot, because obviously I haven't really looked into transfers for any club other than obviously Leicester. But yeah, it was like rumoured and like reported that obviously Ancelotti wanted Dominic Lewin over in Real Madrid in a 50 million move. I don't know if that's going to happen, but you never know. But I don't know who they're going to bring in enough under Rafa for transfers as well. Like I said, it all depends on transfers and what tactics and style and that Rafa decides to bring to Everton. But we'll have to wait and see. But like I said, I personally think Everton are going to finish 7th this season coming up. I'm hoping Leicester also finally get that 4th place spot. Obviously, I hope we don't finish 5th for a third. Obviously, I'm hoping 3rd season's the charm, 3rd time's the charm. But with our other teams at the moment have been doing with transfers, and how the players Leicester have been linked with. Obviously, we've just signed Patson Daka for 23 million. And I think Patson Daka is going to be. He's going. Put it this way: Patson Daka's going straight into my fantasy team once a year. Obviously, because the Premier League app has now obviously gone live, so you can do your transfers. But not every player, obviously, until transfers are done or whatnot. I've just put like a template of players in for now. But once Patson Daka comes up on the Premier League fantasy thing, he's going straight in there. For game week 1, he's going straight in there. But then again, Iheanacho and Vardy in there. But like I mentioned it last one as well with Vardy. I think this season is going to be his last. But I don't think he's going to be playing every game because obviously you've got Daka and Iheanacho now. And if Iheanacho keeps on top like he did do at the back end of last season, and then if Daka's on the same level with Iheanacho and they're both like that, then Vardy's not really going to get any game time. I think that's what Vardy wants, because obviously Vardy wants to, with how old he is now, he's 35 next year, January next year. So like I said, I think this is going to be his last season. Then he's going to go over to, Rochester, whatever they were called again, Wolves or whatever they were called. And I reckon, because obviously his co-owners them, I think he's going to go over there and play for them. Obviously, because his co-owners, I think that's what's going to happen. This is going to be his last season, but I don't think he's going to play every single game. Like I said, with Daka and Iheanacho we have now, Vardy's going to have to push, and the back end of the season, I think he scored like 2 goals in 24, did Vardy. So he's been on a very daunting. Obviously, he's got the assists in there, which I did mention before. He's got the assists on there. But like I said, I personally think it's going to be a Daka and Iheanacho dynamo up front this season, and then I think Vardy's going to be one of those that sits on the bench and comes on like in the second half and whatnot. Like I say, if we're goals down or he needs a striker to push forward, I think that's what he's going to do. I think that's how it's looking anyway. And obviously Daka's going to be one with Iheanacho that obviously takes Vardy's spot when Vardy does go fully anyway. So I think that's the reason why we brought Daka in. So then we've got Daka and Iheanacho up front. Because, like I said, Vardy's on contract anyway for the next 2 years. He's on contract till 2023. But like I said, I personally, because obviously next year will be 10 years. Obviously, next year Vardy would have been at Leicester for 10 years. So I reckon that's a time. But like I said, he's always said he wants to play football until he's 40. But like I said, with players we're linked with in the moment, and in fact we've already brought in a striker as well. I feel that this might be Vardy's last season. For us, personally, I don't think he's going to retire. Like I said, I think he'll go over to the club, which he co-owns, and I reckon he'll play for them over in the MLS once they've got the expansion popping. They get in the MLS and that. I think he'll play for them for a couple of seasons. I think that's what's going to happen. We'll see co-owns them as well. But you never know, I could be wrong. But it's going to be hard for him to juggle co-owning a club and playing in another playing in a different country. How will he juggle both things? Co-owning one club in America, but then playing for a club in England. How's he gonna spread his time? Because he want to be over there for the games when they're playing and all that. Because he want to be there supporting the team that he's co-owning. So obviously, how can he do that if he's playing for Leicester at the same? This is what I mean. This is why I think this will be his last season. So then he can focus on co-owning the club which he co-owns at the moment. But yeah, as I said, Patson Daka signing, that's a great signing. That, like I said, he's going straight into my fantasy. Is Patson Daka when he comes up on the Premier League app. Obviously, we can't do the fantasy for the 2021 to 2022 season yet on Fantasy Hub. It just says coming soon. Obviously, I think that might go live after the Euros done. For Jake's Skemia League thing. I don't think that'll go live until after Euros. But obviously the Premier League app one's already done. I've already created a team. Like I said, they're just placement players at the moment. Obviously once all transfers are done for every club and that, then I'm probably going to be switching quite a lot of them out. Like I said, Patson Daka's definitely going in. I put Tony up front because Tony's on there now, but I'll probably take Ollie Watkins in and put Patson Daka on with Iheanacho. I'll probably have up front. I'll have Patson Daka, Iheanacho, and Tony for Brentford. If that will probably be my front three. Things could change. It just depends on what other clubs sign whatever players. It's all dependent on that. So we'll just have to wait and see. Obviously, apparently as well, there's rumours that Ryan Brentford's signing a 2-year contract with Leicester City. Obviously, nothing's official yet. We're waiting on some more contracts as well. Apparently, some more signed as well. Obviously, Patson Dakan's been announced today. But I know a few players in that can't sign until the 1st of July, which is tomorrow. So the Ryan Bertrand and Bakary Samor deals might be announced tomorrow. We'll just have to wait and see. But then there's other players that we've been linked with. Apparently, we're looking at signing Dominic Berardi for 40 million. The fact we've already spent 23 million on Patson Daka, and then the fact that we're signing some more for about 20 million as well. So that's 22 million. So that's 45 million there. And then obviously we're bringing Bertrand in on free transfer. And then if we're looking at bringing Berardi in for 40 million, it's 85 million. Someone's got to be someone has to be leaving. I could be wrong. We might just have money that because we might still have money left over from the Maguire and Chilwell deals and whatnot. Because we didn't really spend much, did we? And then obviously we were gaining money from other stuff. So I could be wrong. No one might be leaving. We might just be spending quite a bit to bolster the squad for Euro. For the Europa League and that, so we've got a bigger squad to go out with because we were quite thin last season with players. So I think what they're doing now is they're just bolstering the squad, they're adding players. I think that's what they're doing. But then obviously there's been rumours that James Maddison could be going to Arsenal, which would be a massive downgrade. I don't see that happening. But then there's also been rumours that Kaglar Soyuncu is gonna is looking at Man United to look at buying Kaglar Soyuncu. I don't know if that's true. That could be another false. And then rumours of Wesley Fofana going to Real Madrid. I don't see it until I see Fabrizio. I think that's how you say his name. On Twitter, putting up saying, "Oh yeah, this has been that," because everything he says goes by. It normally happens. It's usually 100% accurate, and he's not mentioned anything about them. So I think they're just rumoured transfers. I don't see it happening. But the fact is, if we do go, I think we've been linked with so many players. Like I said, I don't see us going in for Dominic Berardi. And the fact that, they want 40 million, I don't think we're going to cough up 40 million for Berardi. Berardi's a really good player, don't get me wrong, but is he worth 40 million? And the fact, are we going to do that after already signing Daka for 23 million and then apparently Samoa's coming for 22? So that's 45 million there we've spent on 2 players, and then obviously Ryan Bertrand coming in on a free transfer, so that's three players there that'll be taking up quite a bit of wage budget. But then again, we've let a few go off. And Morgan and Fuchs have gone. I think they were on about 40 to 50k each, both. So that's like 100k. That's probably gone on probably Saka and Daka probably 50k each. And then obviously Bertrand. I reckon Bertrand will be wanting probably 50k as well per week. So goes on wage budget as well. So obviously, like I said, we've got getting words out. Quite a few have gone. So we'll just have to wait and see. But if we bring in Berard in, then that's like 85 million we've spent there on free players, and then obviously Bertrand coming in on a free transfer. Like I said, I don't see us signing Dominic Berardi. The only way we'll sign someone at that expense, like 40 million upwards, is if we sell someone, which should probably be Maddison. But like I said, Maddison's not going to go to Arsenal. Like I said, that's a massive downgrade. Plus, Arsenal don't even have Europa or Champions League this season either. So why would he want to cuffle up and go to a club that doesn't have any, Europa or Champions League football? And why would he scumper that? Like I said, I think it's just a rumour. Some of these rumours are actually quite laughable to honest when you read up on it. It's like, yeah, this is not going to happen. But yeah, that's basically what it is. But yeah, it's going to be an interesting season. Like I said, I hope we do manage to finally get into the top four. Stuff will be seen, but we'll just have to wait and see. But yeah, I'm hoping it does. I'm hoping it gets some light. But yeah, obviously Patson Daka is now officially signed. Hopefully the Samoa and Bertrand deals get announced back end of this week, but maybe tomorrow, because obviously I know that for like international players, whatnot, players and like further away or whatnot, the transfer window for them to register and that don't come in until tomorrow. So yeah, but then again, Daka's signed today. So I don't know that. Like I said, they might already be done deals, but they're just waiting to maybe after the Euros to announce some of them. Like I said, all the deals for the players that we want might have already been done, and they're just waiting like for the time to like announce them, which might be after the Euros, or they might announce them tomorrow. Bertrand and Samoa might be announced tomorrow. We'll just have to wait and see. But how it is how it is. So yeah, like I said, we'll just have to wait until everything's been announced. But it's looking like a very promising season for Leicester anyway, because of all these different signings which are happening. But we'll just have to wait and see. Obviously it is and it isn't, but yeah, that's all I'm going to say for this one. So I'll do the next podcast, which will be once all the quarterfinal games have played, and then we've got the semi-final. I don't know if that'll be the last one, because I don't know if it'll be worth doing a podcast for like the final. Because then I'll be doing two more, because you do one for the semi, but then you do two for the final, because you do one before the final, and you do one after, which will be two podcasts. That'll be like 10 minutes each. I don't know whether to just do one for the semis once all the quarterfinal ones are done, and then just do one once the finals. But then again, I'll have a podcast where I haven't said, well, this team's beat them in the semi. So it'd just be one of those things, won't it? Or then again, I could just do one. Obviously, I mean, if I did it, it'd be 3 more podcasts, which would be 7. Would it be 7? Is this the 4th one for the... this is the 4th episode for the Euro, so it'd be another 3 if I did that. Semi-final and 2, one before the final and one after. Like I said, the one after would be more of an overview. So that would be quite an interesting podcast to do. But then the one before the final, I'd be like, this team's going to do this. It'd be really short. Unless like other things, like I'd have to bring in like other transfers for clubs. I'd have to like do more general football stuff to like boost her up. Or it'd be a short like 10-15 minute podcast if I did that. And I want to try to stick to like minimum 45 minutes is the minimum for each podcast. I don't want to go under 45 minutes really for any of the podcasts, because I think 45 minutes is like a nice... 45 minutes to 60 minutes is a nice sweet spot. Obviously, a couple of them have gone over that, but I think 45 minutes to 60 minutes is the sweet spot for these podcasts. But yeah, the next one will be obviously after, like I've said, all the quarterfinals have been played, and then obviously the podcast for the semi. Like I said, some interesting stuff happening at the moment. I'm hoping my predictions this time plan out, and they don't. You watch now, everything I've said and predicted, and what I wish for, that is the outcome for the quarterfinal. I can see it happening. None of it will happen. England will get knocked out. Belgium will get knocked out. Spain will get knocked out. Denmark will get knocked out. I can see it happening. I'm not going to put any money on it. I might actually put some bets down actually for a couple of the games, and I might go against what you'd expect for the games that this team will win. I'm gonna bet against that, so I'm gonna bet for the odds that's gonna bring you in the most money. So what I normally do for some of the games, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think the most I've won, was 500. I put a £10 bet on, and I won £570 off that £10. But this was like 2-3 years ago. This is when I think it was in second year of uni. I did this. I put a £10 bet down, and then I won £570. That's the most I've won from betting. There was one bet as well. I put down a £10 bet, and I could have won like £7 grand. It was a game. I can't remember what it was now. This was years ago as well. I put like a £10 bet down, and I could have won like £7 grand. And the other thing which let me down was the goal difference for what, because it was like 5 or 6 different like games that I'd put on, so it was like an accumulator. One team let me down by one bloody goal. One goal. I could have won if it wasn't for that goal, I could have won £7 grand off that £10 bet. I was absolutely gutted. It was one goal. But yeah, I'm gonna have a look at the odds and that for some of the games at quarterfinals, and I'll try and put in some saucy gambling bets in. See if anything can come through. Because lately, for a couple of the games, I've not really been winning anything. I've been losing money. I've been putting bets on, and then just none of them have come through. I think the last bet that I'd got was like end of October last year. I think was the last time I won something back from it. But I've not really put many bets on since then. Since like October last year, I've not really put any bets on. And I've only put 2 bets on for Euros. Actually, no, I lie. I don't think I put any bets on for Euros yet. No, I don't think I have. I don't think I have put any bets on for Euros yet. But I'm going to have a look at the quarterfinals anyway, because obviously I haven't betted this for Euros yet. So might as well put some on it and see if I can accumulate any money from it. So I'll have to have a look at the bets. I usually use Paddy Power. But use just Sky Bet or something like that. Usually have better offers on certain stuff, so obviously you have to scope around. But yeah, I think the time has come to put a few bets down. Even just putting like £1-2 on a couple of bets, like some of the bigger bets, like 100 to 1. I always look at some of the 500 to 1. I do it for some Premier League games as well. I don't know why I do it, because they never win. Like the 500 to 1 on the bets where you put £1 down and you come in like £500. None of them ever come through. I've never. It happened to my mate once. It won like £1.5 from 3 £1 bets. So it put £1 on 3 bets, and it was like £500 each, and it won £1.5 from £3. I was like, how the hell have you done that? And then obviously I do it now and then. Like you put like a cheeky £1-2 bet down now and then on like on like a 500 to 1 or a 400 or 100 to 1. It's never happened for me. I've never won anything from doing that. It's never. There's a couple of times where I've been so close, but it's like one thing that has like let me down. Like sometimes I prefer to accumulate them as well, because if you accumulate bets, you get more returns. So it's none of it ever happens. But we'll see. I'll see with the quarterfinals stuff. So yeah, that's it for this podcast. So I hope you enjoyed this. Obviously, I've gone through quite a lot of stuff. I've tried not to be as salty as possible because of France obviously losing. I think I've been done all right. I haven't gone into too much detail. I tried to keep it short. So then, but yeah, like I said, I've got over it now. I've accepted defeat. We lost. But yeah, thank you for listening to this one. The next one will, like I said, will be up once the quarterfinals are finished. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed listening to this, and I'll see you again in the next one.